Before we talk about the sadhana, one must understand that our Lakshitra itself, how it came about. I mean, it's a very simple, short story behind that is that our Buddha Shakyamuni, when he was preaching to the public, and one day he was very happy and he was very smiling a lot. He was more than usually he was smiling. And one of his disciples, Kungavo, one of the best disciples, and he asked Buddha that why is he smiling this way today? And then the Buddha said, Buddha began to teach about our Lakshitra. At the same time, a light rays issues out from Buddha's heart. It goes to the paradise, and where the Amitabha resides, and it touches the Amitabha, and then through Amitabha's heart, our Lakshitra came out. So that's one of the reasons why our Lakshitra always have Amitabha's on the crown. So that's one of the reasons. Of course, our Lakshitra is also believe that all the Buddha's compassion is came together and then came out as our Lakshitra. Just like Tara is all the Buddha's activities came out as Atara, and also like all the wisdom came into the Manjushri, and then of course we have all these different deities for all different kinds of things, like for example Zambala and all these deities. So I will let the translators do the translation. Okay, and how this the sadhana came about is that Rodha Khajama came about is that during the 13th and 14th century, there was Thangdong Jabo. He was one unique, very how to say. We have many great masters, but he was one of the very unique ones. Reason being is because he was not just very how do you say great master for the teachings, but he was also in a variety of things, not like architect, artist, how do you say as a teacher, master. So all he was a combination of many things. I mean, his name, if we just translate directly, his name is Tang. Tongba means Tang means great vast land. Tongba means empty, and king of empty land, something like that. But basically, he used to do a lot of meditation, so that's how he got his real name was Zundu. The people, because he did a lot of he was very learned. He was very how do you say dedicated learner. So that's why they also nicknamed him as the Zundu Yabu, king of how to say very dedication. So he was that kind of a person. And also he did many things. For example, he wanted to cross a bridge or cross a river, and the boatman didn't let him into the boat because he was wearing a very dirty clothes, and he was not interested in he was very his main interest was learning, education, and practicing. So he didn't care about his clothing, his food, whatever. So he was only into the teachings. But because of his clothing and looks, the boatman didn't let him go into the boat. At the time, also, they were to cross the river, the animals and the pilgrims and the business people, many of them perished because of the water current. Many people used to fall into the river, and because they wanted to cross, then they couldn't cross, and then they passed away, perished in the river. So he decided that he must build a bridge. And you must understand that during 13th and 14th centuries, there's no computer, there's no calculator, there's no this kind of advanced education. So you can imagine that not much books will be also available. So he learned somehow he learned the technique of using how do you say dealing with metal. And then because he was very, he didn't have any wealth, or he was poor, so he actually found iron, how do you say, mining. So he found iron mining, and also because he needed a bridge, build a bridge. He at the beginning he begged also, but then he realized begging is not much help. So he founded the opera singing, or Tibetan style opera singing was founded by Thongthong Gyabo, so that he used to organize these performance, and Tibetan about 7 or 10 Tibetan girls, they perform the Tibetan opera, and then he used to generate donations through that, and then he built about I mean today's time, of course, Tibet and neighboring Bhutan, still you can see these bridges still standing and still working. Now he built about 50 or 60 odd bridges in his lifetime. And of course, there's also Thongthong Gyabo's long life initiation, also which he of course practiced, and he lived over. I mean, there's a few different literatures say a little bit differently, but basically he lived over 100 and somewhere around 120 something years. He he lived over 120 years, so that's a very big achievement. So he organized a the Avalokiteshvara mantra chanting, which is very common, where a group of people gather together to chant Mani mantra for 100 million times. It's called Mani Thongdu. And during that Mani Thongdu, he, in his early in the morning, in the dawn, Avalokiteshvara came into his vision and bestowed many teachings to him. Among many other teachings, secret teachings, and this sadhana that we are going to talk about today is one of them. And Avalokiteshvara also told him that the Mani mantra will be very significant, especially in how do you say? Avalokiteshvara is every deity has the karmic link, right? It works. Especially Avalokiteshvara is more towards the Himalaya region, at the remote areas. They'll be more effective and more powerful. So as you can see, most of the Himalaya, they chant mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, which is very common all over the Himalaya region. I know I have, when we talk among ourselves, many I heard that saying like money is very simple, or it's a very easy. Om Mani Padme Hum is very common, too common. That you need something more sacred and more. But if you really listen to your gurus, money actually combines all this short 6-word combines all the Buddha's teaching into this 6-word mantra. So it's a very powerful, and it's a, you don't need anything else actually. But this mantra, Avalokiteshvara himself said that with Mani mantra, many people will be liberated from the samsara. So at the beginning of sadhana, you will have the refuge, and how do you say? The refuge is actually a very important part of the sadhana. Almost all the sadhanas or all the practice you do, you will have a refuge at the beginning. And whom you are taking refuge is the Buddha and Sangha. And why, you must also understand why we are taking refuge, also a very important part. And this is also a very crucial point, because this will basically, how do you say, determined what kind of practice you are doing. Even before you begin, this part is also because of this part, your practice, your kind of blessings you will receive, the amount of merits you will gain. It all, how do you say, determined by this beginning part. So you're taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And why we are taking refuge is because of the fear, faith, and compassion. The fear of samsara's suffering, faith to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and compassion towards all the sentient beings who are going through this difficult or going through the suffering of samsara. But we have to also understand that in some, I can see that most of the students here today are senior. You have been studying for many years, so I'm sure you know this, that we have 6 different realms. We are the human realm, then above us, we have the demigods realm, and then the gods realm. In the lower, there are 3 upper and 3 lower realm in the 6th realm. The 3 lower realms are animal realm, demigods realm, and animal realm, and the hungry ghost realm, and then the hell realm. But if you look carefully, that all of these 6 realms are full of suffering. Although some of them, like for example, God's realm, they may appear outwardly, they appear to be happy and luxury and happy, but if you look closely, they are not. Although the God's realm has a lot of luxury, everything is peaceful, beautiful, elegant, luxury from top to bottom, but they have a limit, how long they live. But and towards the end of their life, they have the they can hear that they are going to pass away, and then because they are gods, they have powers, so they can see where they are going to be born next life. And because the entire life they spent in luxury and they're spent in doing all kinds of things, so that's why they didn't gain many merits. Then because of that, they are going to be born in the lower realms. So it's so much fear they have of death. And the demigods realm are full of anger, full of anger towards the gods realm, because they are always fighting with the gods, but because of their merits, they are always losing. So there's a lot of pain and suffering in going through that. Then, of course, we have the human realm. Now, human realm has basically is kie, ga, na, chi, means you are born, you are getting older, then you get sick, and then you die. This is there's nobody is above this. Everybody gets old, everybody gets sick, everybody dies, everybody so this 4 is everyone has to go through this. There's nothing, there's no hiding from this. And now the 3 lower realm, the animal realm, there are basically 2 fears. One is that to be eaten or to be killed by another animal or another human or anybody. And then the second one is that people making do things, making them work in a field or making them do work. So basically that is 2 suffering. They have mainly 2 suffering. And of course the hungry ghost realm is because of the hunger and thirst, as you all know. And we have the hell realm. Of course, we have the hot hell and cold. There's all suffering. There's no explanation needed there. Now, this although humans are considered, should see the how lower and higher human realms become in the middle, above the animal realm, lower than the demigods. But for a practitioner, as a practitioner, human realm is considered is the best, because we have the balance, the very good balance that we can do practice, we can do we have the opportunity to receive teachings, and so we have the best opportunity. Although all the other rooms may have they have, but very less compared to human. So that's why human realm is considered the best to be born as a Buddhist practitioner. So this is the very common teaching among of course, if you have received, I'm sure you have, most of you have received many teachings, and almost all the teachers will tell you the same kind of give you same kind of teaching. Many of you may be thinking, oh, here we go, we are talking again this about the 6 realms, the 3 gods, or gods, and all, everybody suffering, suffering, suffering. But I believe it is important to listen from time to time, because we forget. Because this we may think this is for beginners or for something simple, but I believe this is the foundation of Buddhism, where you practice. So it is very important. Without any, if you don't have a good foundation, anything, whether you're building buildings or whether you have doing any kind of work, without a good foundation, strong foundation, and this is the foundation for Buddhism. So without a strong foundation, without this kind of knowing and believing, I always say there's two different things. You know, yeah, I know there's a hell realm, I know there's a God's realm, I already know everything, but believing, do you really believe in that? And that's also a very big difference I see. So that's why I urge you to really think about, although this is simple, easy, but it's very, very, very important subject that I feel that we are, how to say, neglecting. Now, because of this, you are doing practice, because of understanding, because of the understanding of the world, understanding of the realms, because then when you looked at all different directions and all the different methods, then when you have, how do you say, if you practice, then there is only one way, which is then whatever you do, all your energy, all your belief is going to into one path. So then that will be much more powerful and much more stronger than before. So taking refuge, then you take refuge in fear of samsara, and believe, faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and also the compassion for all the sentient beings who are suffering in this for the sake of all of them, then you are taking this refuge. So this is very important. And for this is the reason now for why, because after the understanding, then for the sake of all sentient beings, then you are going to do this practice. So this is the beginning part. And also, another one of the simple thing you must understand is that in samsara, everything which gathered, for example, we are gathered today here in this Zoom meeting. The end of this is we will go all in our own way. So we will be dispersed, or we'll be all doing our own thing. So end of the combination is separation. The gathering of wealth or gathering of how do you say, whatever you try to preserve and gather together, the end of that is to whether wealth you have gained, and one day you'll go away. So that's also an important thing. The end of how to say, the higher you rank, or higher the name, the bigger the name you have, is the end of that is the coming down. So that's also important. And the end of birth is death, is also very important. So after looking at all different the ways of samsara, then finally we say that we will follow the Buddha Dhamma. And so, for example, today we will follow our Lokshitara. So with this mind, for the sake of all sentient beings, but not just for oneself, this is also very important. We are never doing practice for oneself. We are always, always, always doing practice for all sentient beings, because we believe in the life after next. We believe I'll be reborn again and again, because we have been born again so many times that every sentient being in one life or another is somebody's mother, once your mother, father, friend, husband, wife, children. So they have been close to you one life or another. So that's why we are always praying for all sentient beings. This is very important. The beginning part, preliminary. Of course, every teaching has preliminary, main, and conclusion. Now this is the preliminary part. Now the main part, we have to where we visualize that oneself surrounded by all the sentient beings together with you, and you have to visualize on top of not just oneself, but everyone. Or you have to visualize a white lotus, and on top of that is a moon disk. And on top of that is the letter She. And out of the letter She, you have to visualize the Avalokiteshvara appears. White in color, one face, four hand. White, why color white is because it symbolizes the pureness or the clearness of the Avalokiteshvara Buddha. And also his Avalokiteshvara will look at all Chenrisim. Chenri means eye. So he's looking at all sentient beings through the compassion. So that's also why it's called Chenrisi also in Tibetan word. And now he has four hands. The first two hands are folding on his heart. And also it means that the Avalokiteshvara is calling out to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to give blessing, to guide all sentient beings out of samsara to liberation. So this is what he's requesting to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And the right hand is holding a crystal 108 beads rosary, clear crystal. So it's also symbolizing that he is there 24/7, looking at all the sentient beings. He is never tired, or he's never stopped blessing or liberating people, sentient beings from this samsara. So that's symbolizing of that. And the left hand is holding a white lotus, and also symbolizing the compassion through the lotus. Adorned with many different colorful clothing, with all the different different ornaments. Avalokiteshvara also has skin, I think it was deer skin, covering his left breast. This skin symbolizing his compassion towards all sentient beings. On the top of his head is Amitabha, because he came out of Amitabha's body. And two legs are in lotus position or folded together, symbolizing the wisdom and emptiness together. And behind his head is again another moon disk. This symbolizing that the coolness of moon is clearing, or how do you say, clearing all the your negative emotions, or the clearing or cooling down all the heat of anger, desire, ignorance. And also the last one is that you have to not just visualize this Avalokiteshvara in front of you, which is not just him, but in this Avalokiteshvara, your guru and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are all combined together in this one Avalokiteshvara. This is the visualization part, and then of course we have the chanting. Then you are basically calling out to the Avalokiteshvara to bestow the blessing, and that you are doing a prostration to him. This is the second part here. Then you have to do this recitation a few times, or as much as you can. And then the next one is doing the 7-4 prayer or 7-limb prayer. This is to now purify oneself before we how do you say do this the mantras. We are trying to purify ourselves. So this is also a very important purification process. Is basically our basic confession is first one is prostration to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then the second one is to offering of flowers, water, food, whatever it is that you want to offer, music, you are offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And the third one is confession. You are confessing all your sins, not just which you have accumulated in this life, but all the past lives. Also, you are confessing all your sins. And then the fourth one is rejoicing. You are rejoicing to all the good deeds or all the teachings that you have, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas you have bestowed. You are rejoicing to that. This is how it works is that because if you think, oh, they did the good deed, and if we just rejoice, how does it help me? Because then, let's say somebody is giving food to somebody, or poor, or saving somebody's life, or anything like that, and then you say, I feel good that he did that, or he or she did that, so I'm very happy for him. Then I all rejoice. So by doing that, you are actually how do you say, profiting, or you are also generating merits through somebody else's deed. So this is also very important. And the fifth one is to requesting all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to turn the wheel of Dharma, to give you teachings, to receive, to give blessings, you are requesting to that. And the sixth one is requesting all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas remain with us, to give us teaching, to guide us to liberation. So without going to nirvana, to remain with us, to give teachings to us. And the last one is to dedication prayer. All the whatever merits that you accumulate to you not just keep it oneself, but for the sake of all sentient beings. So you are just basically distributing all your merits. By doing so, the one merit is not like where you have food and you are giving out to people, but this is all inwardly. So the more people that you dedicate, that's why we dedicate to all sentient beings. If you do that, your merit will also multiply many times. If you just do this for oneself, then you're only doing for oneself, so your merit is also very small. But if you dedicate this merit to all sentient beings, your merit doesn't go smaller, but it goes more bigger. So it's also very important. Now after that is to again prayers. You are calling out your guru is whoever your guru or teacher is, that he is also Avalokiteshvara. Your deity is Avalokiteshvara. You're calling. You are seeing everything as Avalokiteshvara, and you are everything to us. So please live with us, Sara, and or bring us to you, or to oneself, to your close to you. So this is the prayer that you're doing, and it's a long prayer. In between you have mani mantras. Basically you are talking about yourself, different realms. So each realm has one sentence, so basically the same thing. And then after this, I think that page 10, after this is where you have to visualize that the light rays, through the power of your request, through the power of the Avalokiteshvara, and Avalokiteshvara light rays issues out from his body. That touches, when the light rays touches yourself, it purifies all your inner negative emotions. And through the power of this light rays, everything outwardly, everything becomes into paradise, or the Devache, where the paradise of the Amitabha. And all your everything dissolve into how to say, no, not really dissolve. So everything is now, you are in the paradise. Now, at the beginning, when I say, you know, because we are supposed to, okay, I am, this place is paradise. I am blessed with the Amitabha. All my emotions are purified. And that the difference between the great practitioner and the beginner is that the very same thing is that we, our great masters, they believe that. That's how you become great masters. At the for myself, we have done, okay, this very place, maybe in, how is this paradise? So you are questioning yourself. So this is where I say knowing and believing. We know this is once we are supposed to visualize, but visualizing and believing, the more you believe, the more power you are gaining, the more powerful is your chanting, your visualization, the more blessing you are receiving, the more merits you are gaining. So this is the difference. Everything I see is our Lokeshwara. The place where I am is the paradise. Every sound I hear is the Mani mantra. So this is also very important. Now, that your body, speech, and mind, and our Lokeshwara is body, speech, and mind turn into one. So after that, now we have to chant the Mani mantra. At the beginning, I said that Mani combines all the Buddhas and Buddha's teaching. So now I will tell you a reason why. Because Mani has 6 words: Om, Mani, Padme, Hum. 6 words. Now Om, meaning of Om also is basically 3 words: A, U, Ma, Om. So 3 words also means your body, speech, and mind. This is symbolizing that. Mani means jewel. Mani means also the method. Mani also means that there are many Avalokiteshvara's body, and then one of them is holding the jewel. So there are many. You can basically is the one thing you have important to remember is this is the method. Money is also the jewel and also the method. This is you have to remember. Padme, as I said, that one of the Avalokiteshvara is holding jewel, wish fulfilling jewel, and one hand is also holding lotus. So symbolizing that, and also another symbolization is Padme is how to say wisdom. The meaning of Padme is also wisdom. So Tabta Sherab, your method and your wisdom. All the Buddha's teaching is all about method and wisdom. So that's why it's considered that Om Mani Padme Hum holds all the Buddha's teaching. Last one is Hum, which combines the how do you say the wisdom and method. So it's like a bird cannot fly with one wing. You need 2 wings. So just like that, you need wisdom and method to work together to get you out of this samsara, to liberate. Another simpler way of explanation is Om Ahom means body, speech, and my body, speech, mind through the wisdom and method liberate me out of this samsara or bring me to you. So this is a very simple, very easy, but very powerful combines. Because all the Buddha's teaching is all about wisdom and method. He is trying to use different methods, different to teach you with his great wisdom. So this is basically Om Mani Padme Hum holds all the Buddha's teaching. So it's a very powerful, very easy, but I believe that many people neglect this because it's very easy, because it's very common. But when it comes to teaching, when it comes to practice, there is no such thing as simple or easy or common. So everything is as powerful as this. The power of, we have different deities, we have different practices. All of them are different methods. There's no more powerful, less powerful. Oh, my deity has 6 hands, or my deity has only 2 hands, or my deity has big, tall, or my this doesn't matter. It's all about how you do your practice. We have many deities because we think we are different. This question I get asked many times. For example, many of people of the people come and ask me, do you see the difference between because Buddha came about 2,500 years ago, somewhere around there, and his teachings are very old, like 2,500 years old, and we are 21st century. We are in such a modern, such a how do you say? We think we are very different. Now we have different cuisines. For example, Italian cuisine, French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Indian cuisine, or American, British. We have all different kinds of cuisines. We may think they are very different. Oh, the taste is totally different. The spices are totally different. The way you cook is so different. The smell is different. But everything is so different. And we differentiate through that. Oh, because of the smell, because of the different taste. We think it's very different. But we forget the most important part of the food. What is the most important part of the food? Is to give you energy, to fill your stomach, to eat. The taste is secondary. The first point of eating food, because you want to live, you want to survive, you need to eat. That's why that is the most important part. First, number one reason why we eat is because we want to live, because we want to survive. We forget that. Of course, outward color and taste and smell, these are not as important as to survive. So just like that, Buddha's teachings, we say, oh, it's very different, it's very old, and do you think that it will still work in 21st century? But my question is, 2,500 years ago, they have headache, they have stomach ache, they have jealousy, they have anger, they have ignorance. We still have the same thing. So why we are so different? Why Buddha's teaching we think that it would not work in today's life? Because the problem is the same. Yes, the outwardly we are wearing different clothing. Our accents have changed. The way we speak has changed a little bit. But the point is, our inwardly we have not changed anything. Whether we are talking about same how do you say same century, different century, yes, we do things a little bit differently. The way our hairstyle may have changed a little bit, our pants have changed may have a little bit, things may have changed a little bit here and there, but the main problem, our inwardly, our attachment, our ignorance, our desire, it's the same thing. So with that also, you can also follow the same thing, whether it's Chinese or Americans or the French or the Italian or the British or the Russians. They may look different. Well, we are very different. We are colors different. African. We have so many different kinds of color. We may feel that we are very different, but if you go to any country, we have the same problem because of our anger, desire, ignorance. So if the problem is same, why not the method will be? Why Buddha's teaching will not work? Because Buddha is not talking about outwardly things. Mainly, he's talking about inner peace, inner. Because once you have control over oneself, it's all Buddha's teaching is all about oneself and one's more controlling our mind. Because everything you see, you feel is through how you feel and how you see through inwardly. Your mind is telling you it's good. Your mind is telling you it's bad. Your mind is so basically your mind is making you do whatever you do in your life. So if you have control over your mind, you have control over all the world or entire. You are if you are no matter what kind of situation, no matter what kind of a difficult worldly difficult time you are going through. But if you have control over your mind, then there's no bigger problem. Then everything is almost, because that's why I always feel that our great masters, the great, you never see them in a rush. You never see them doing fast and doing things in a harsh or doing because they are always, their mind is always controlled. Their mind is always going in the same speed, same pace. They are not worried about the small here, which we are doing for simple things, the small things. We get angry, we get emotional, we do, and because of these things, we let ourselves affected. That's why we do actions according to that. So once you control your mind, and Buddha's teaching is all about how you simple. He may talk about outwardly different things, the mountain, the give you many. These are all methods. These are all methods. What he's trying to teach you is basically inwardly. Finally, it comes to oneself, and then finally it comes to the attachment. Finally, it comes to one's attachment, toward oneself. Everything. Once you control yourself, then you have the power. You are basically liberated. If you put it in a simple word, liberation or the Buddhahood in a very worldly way. If I say that once you control your mind, and not just for 1 second or a few seconds, but if you can keep it in that way, then that is the liberating yourself. Liberation does not mean that you are going into a different planet or different next life or this thing. So it's all about once you see the true meaning of life, once you see the that's why I always say we know all this. All the students we have today here, thousands of here, we all know why we are here, because of our anger, desire, ignorance. There is no question about that. Anybody who have received teachings, they will know this is the reason why we are in samsara. But because of how much we believe in ourselves, and our practice is affected by that. Oh, I'm just a simple person. I am just a normal person. My sadhana is just, I'm doing it at my home, simple home. It doesn't matter whether you are big home or small home. The point is that because that's, I believe where it's coming from is because we know ourselves. I know myself. I cannot tell you how you feel because I cannot see your mind, but I see myself. I can feel my own mind, and I know how ignorant I am. How I know how emotional what kind of desire, anger, or ignorance all is going through him. I know, I can feel it. So that's why you feel, oh, I'm not such a great person. I'm not a good person. I'm a very simple, minor person. And I've been speaking this to many of our students, and as much as I can, I tell this again and again, that there is no such thing as simple, or there is no such thing as normal practitioner. As you are doing your practice, you are already on the right path. You are already trying. You are trying, already trying. That is a very, very big step, what you are trying. So whenever you do your practice, whenever you think of doing meditation or doing meditation, so you have to believe 100% that your practice will help all sentient beings. And this is the one step, because you cannot take 1,000 steps at the beginning. You have to start from one step. One step becomes two step, three step, then you will accumulate till you reach the 1,000. You cannot just, first step is 1,000 step, cannot be like that. So your first step is the right path, right step. So it is very important you believe in oneself, because we must Buddhas and all these our masters who came to into samsara to teach, they did not teach everywhere and everything. They checked, because they checked and felt and saw that these people are worthy of our teachings, or worthy of teaching. If you are not worthy, you will not be receiving this teaching. So you have to also understand that, for example, today's this teaching, how do you say, Trujin Tongdong Jabo, he believed in us. He believed in all of us. He put his trust and the teachings that he have received through our Lokeshwara directly from him. He decided to share it with us. I believe that is such a how do you say the honor and such a the respect. It's such a belief that he have shown to us. Now we have to show, if not all, a little bit of belief in ourselves, right? You have to believe because your guru believed in you. Our Thandong Jabo believed in you. Our Lokesh Tarwar himself believed in you. He knew, of course, I'm sure, and I know that our Lokesh Tarwar believed in Thandong Jabo, and knowing that he will give to other people, all his students and all the followers in the future, they knew they are Buddha. They know all the past, future, and present. They know everything. So they knew that you are going to practice. So if our Lokesh Tarwar didn't believe that in the future these students are not worthy of my teaching, he will not pass it on to Thandong Jabo. This is also very important, I think, how do you say, because we cannot talk of our Buddhas like a normal person, right? Like, oh, if I don't tell him, he doesn't know. If I do this in or if I do a little bit drinking sometimes, if I do a little bit naughty things here and there, or he doesn't know. You cannot. That's you are just lying to yourself. If so it doesn't work that way. You have to believe 100% that your guru is the Buddha himself, and he know everything. And Buddha, our Lokeshwara, they are always there watching over us, because it's just that our karma that we cannot see them, because it's our karma. We have to merit more, gain more merits to see them, to receive them, seeing directly to them. But for that, we have to practice, and we have. If we can't see them, that doesn't mean that they can't see you. They are not with us. They are always in all 10 directions. They are always there. And all the different, they are outwardly they are different, but inwardly they are all same. In just few days ago, I was doing Guru Pama Sambha's practice or the teaching, and there when I was reading that, it says that he is always there. He said he is always outside the door. It's just that when you open the door, he's there. He's always there. As soon as you open the door, he'll be coming. He's always waiting. So we are not waiting for him. He's waiting for us. So once we believe in ourselves, believe in our teachings, then everything will be changed. Everything will be much more powerful. Then whatever merit, if you're gaining, let's say 5 merits today, if you with this belief, you are multiplying by 500. So it is very important to believe that these are our masters, our gurus and their gurus and their gurus, and if it goes back till for example, this teaching till Thandong Jabo, and Thandong Jabo received directly from our Lokeshwara. So this chain which goes on till our Lokeshwara himself. So they all believed in one another, and they pass it down to different students. So I believe that it is very important that we this belief that we have to do these mantras, and after the mantra we have to without any how do you say attachment, or I have received this teaching, now my body and my mind and my speech are as powerful or as same as the Avalokitara. So without any how do you say hiding attachment, without any with control your mind, without any ego, without any attachment, we have to keep our mind in a very calm way. And if some emotions or some thoughts arise, You have to notice that this is a thought, and this is I felt that, or I knew that. Then it will go down, it will come down, and you basically with that we have to meditate on the on emptiness. Okay, now this is up to here is the main part of the sadhana. Now the conclusion part is basically you are calling out to the Buddha, Avalokiteshvara, and you are requesting that all the sentient beings to bring us to you or to liberate us. This is the dedication prayer, which is also a very important, as I said, to multiply your merits. You are dedicating all the merits, whatever you have gained through your practice. During this practice, you are dedicating to everybody. And this is the completing the this completes the sadhana. Now also I was asked to talk about the pandemic. I don't think there's as a Buddhist practitioner, there's not much special going on here, because death and sickness and getting old and dying is always there, even before the pandemic, even during pandemic, and after the pandemic also it will be same. It's just that our karma, depends on our karma, if we'll survive this, and it's all about karma. You are alive because of 3 reasons: karma, your merits, and your merits. Yes, your life, your karma, your merits. These 3 things are keeping you alive. If one of them or 2 of them are on the low, then you can do life releasing, you can do practices, Amitabha practice, you can do all kinds of to get more of them. But if all 3 exhaust, there is nothing, no Buddha, nobody can do anything to keep you alive. And there are 2 kinds of karma. We have individual karma and the combined society's karma. Of course, this is you can say as combined all the people's combined together our karma that we have to go through this such a pandemic, and it's just that we have to accept Buddha as a Buddhist teaching, as a Buddhist student, as a Buddhist follower. We believe in the truth, we believe in the reality, we believe in the way of life. So we just have to accept that, and then we have to go through that. Long ago in Sakya, there was a great master. He did not just follow Sakya; he also followed few other masters. His name was called Mochu Tome. He was a great master, and one student or one master or other masters asked him what to do if I get sick, if I am not sick, if I am wealthy, if I am not wealthy, if I am dying or death, or if I survive. So what do I as a practitioner, what should I do? These are the questions they asked. And Mochu Tome said that if you are sick, or if you are sick, then how you should go through that is that you are sick because of one's karma. I am sick because my karma has because of my previous things that I did. Because of that, I am going through this suffering. And now you have to think that actually it's in a one way of thinking, this is a good thing, because when you are sick, that means you are now bad karma is dissolving, because the more you suffer during this life, that means your bad karmas are going out, you are finishing. So your next life you have less bad karma. So it's one way, it's a good thing that the suffering that you are going through, you should rejoice that my suffering, or whatever disease you're going through, whatever sickness, pain you're going through, you have to rejoice. I'm sick. Now my karma is, all the bad karmas are going out of my system. So this is also, you have to rejoice. If you are not sick, of course, this is a very good thing. Then you can do practice, you can receive teachings, you can do all kinds of good deeds. You're able to. One person who is not well, who cannot who is sick, you cannot do anything. But when you are not sick, then you can do all these good deeds. There's a chance for you to do these practices and accumulate these good deeds. Now, if you are wealthy, he said this is a very good thing. Now you can donate. You can donate to the poor. You can do a lot of good things. You can accumulate more merit. This is a very good thing. But if you don't have any wealth, if you are a poor person, again, you should be rejoicing, because of wealth, the amount of ego, the amount of problems you face is not there anymore. You don't have to worry about all the houses you have, all these big cars, how many cars you have. You have all these emotions you have to go through because all of this wealth. You don't have to worry about that. And then you can do your practice. If you have wealth, of course, again, you can do life release, feed the poor, offering to the deities. You can do a lot of good things. So both ways, this is a good thing. So this is again what he said. And if you are facing death, this is of course again the same as before. With death is the karma that you have to go through, and your bad karma is going down. That means you are facing death. This is a good thing, because you die, your bad karma, amount of the karma is going with you. So that's also a good thing. If you are not dead, if you are alive, again, it's a very good thing. Then you can do practice, you can do all kinds of things. When you are alive, you can do things. When you are not alive, you can't do anything. But at the same time, with the death, the amount of bad deeds that you have done is also coming to an end. So it also that's a way you should rejoice your life. That's the way you should live as a practitioner. That was the advice, or that was the reply that he got. And finally, I would like to say one thing that the great master Shantideva said, Shivatsu, Kenji Shivatsu. He said, if there's a solution, why worry? Because we have a solution. If there is no solution, why worry? Because there's nothing you can do. So both ways, there's not to worry. You are in a good hands. You are a practitioner. You have great master. You are able to do this. So I think I have bored enough for one day. Bored you for enough for one day. So I will leave you with that. Thank you very much.